Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is not going to be a typical one. Until now we've been discussing different topics in Halacha, and Gemara, Daf Yomi, and Parsha, and the like. This actually is going to be a bit of a twist. It's a reaction to Professor Richard Dawkins, the scientist, militant atheist. His goal in life is to try to convince everyone about the silliness of God, and he'll go anywhere and say anything to try to convince people of that. In his book, The God's Illusion, statement after statement, talking about the absurdity, immorality, immaturity of believing in God. Obviously something that every believing Jew rejects out of hand. And he went a step further recently with a unbelievable statement. He said that to a person that asked him about being pregnant with a Downs baby. So he said that it is absolutely important, necessary to abort the baby and try again. That's not an ethical right, but an ethical responsibility, he maintains. And such a child should not be brought into the world. So obviously he's not coming from a Torah standpoint, not coming from a divine standpoint. He's coming from whatever standpoint he comes from, how he decides who could come into the world and who should not come into the world. It's an interesting question. And how he decides when a person is already born in the world, who should be removed, who should not be removed. Also an interesting question, but I'm certainly not looking to waste my time analyzing Dawkins. I'd like to spend some time the next couple of shiurim talking about Down syndrome, special needs children. First point I'd like to make is an important one, that a child who has Downs in no way is considered, from a halachic standpoint, a shoteh. A shoteh is someone who has certain criteria, according to Chazal. He might do something very strange, irrational, walk in cemeteries at night, do some very weird kinds of things, and a specific description in the various Gemarot about him, and that would make such a person a shoteh. A person who's Downs, who might be limited in his understanding and cognitive abilities, does not in any way make him a shoteh, and doesn't remove him from halachic responsibility. He has a very great involvement in the mitzvot and the halachic sphere, despite certain limitations. So that's point number one, that there should be a clear difference between halachic status of a shoteh, someone who's patur from the mitzvot, and someone who has a disability such as Downs. He is chayav in the mitzvah, he has the ability to make choices, and he could live a life where he grows and develops spiritually. We will, Mitzvah Hashem, continue with this series in the next shiur.